Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and in this video we are going to upgrade a .NET 7 Blazor server application to .NET 8, and then we'll upgrade it to .NET 9. So I'm going to show you the process, okay? And the app we are going to upgrade that project. There is this full stack project I built earlier. If you go to my channel and there in playlist, we have this application blog app with Blazor server. Okay, it was a full stack blog application with admin panel for managing categories and blog posts, and then this UI. It was in .NET 7 Blazor server, the one with Signal R. Okay, now in this video what we are going to do, we are going to upgrade this project to .NET 8 and .NET 9. Blazor Web App with interactive server render mode. Okay, so the source code of this, you can find it on my GitHub here, Blazing blog. So this is its source code. All right, let's copy this. And by the way, on my channel, if please do let me know in the comment how was the latest video series, this full stack quiz application. It was actually a fun project. I did it. It was a hybrid project. It was using web with Blazor WebAssembly, and then Blazor hybrid with .NET MAUI for Android and iOS applications. So we had admin panel and student panel for this quiz application. So do let me know in the comment if you guys like this video, or have you seen this video series or not yet. All right. So this Blazing blog, let's clone this, clone this, git clone. Then let's try to open this in Visual Studio. Alright, so I opened it. I moved this Solution Explorer from right to left to check it, because in VS Code we have that in left section. So I'm just trying to see if it works for me. So for me, how I work in VS Code, I'm used to have this Solution Explorer on left section, and in Visual Studio, I'm used to having the Solution Explorer in right side. Let's see, trying this if it works out. Alright, so let's try to run this application. We'll see if it is running, and this is running with this default section. Okay, I am logged in. So now we can see this. We can go to about, which was a static page, manage categories. These are all categories. We can add a new category, this model, and then we can edit this as well. Save it. Category saved successfully. We have JS interop as well. Looks like everything is working. Manage categories, add new blog post. See this, back and edit. Let's make it unpublished. Save it. This first one is unpublished in JavaScript category. If you go to home, you go to JavaScript, there are no blog posts. If you go to manage blogs, edit this, publish this, save it. It was a clean and good project. Do let me in the comment if you guys have watched this video series for this application, Blazing blog application. I want to know how many people are there for a long time who are with me on this journey. Okay. Now if you go to home, you can see this in JavaScript, and if we go to JavaScript category, we can see this here. Okay, and then this was this detail page. All right, cool. So now we want to upgrade this application to .NET. First, we'll upgrade it to .NET 8, then we'll upgrade it to .NET. That's what we are going to do. Okay, so first thing, because in .NET 8 there was a major change in Blazor, because there were these render modes got introduced. Okay, so before .NET 8 we had Blazor WebAssembly and Blazor server, but with .NET 8 there were render modes. There was a Blazor web app with interactivity, then there was this Blazor standalone WebAssembly app. So upgrading from .NET 8 to 9 would be simpler. We don't need to create a separate project. We can simply upgrade it in place. But For upgrading uh, to .NET 8 from any prior version, .NET 7, 6 or 5, we should create a new project with .NET 8 or .NET 9, and then we should move the stuff here, because the initial structure also got changed. I'm going to show you that everything in here in detail. All right, so what we'll do here, we are going to create a new project. Okay, we'll select Blazor Web App because this was a Blazor server application. So in .NET 8 and 9, .NET 8 Plus, we have the equivalent of Blazor server is Blazor Web App with server interactivity. Okay, so next, let's call it Blazing Blog Net .NET 8. Next, authentication type none. If you have followed that video series, in that we have created custom authentication and authorization. It was not using identity, it was not using the default way of authenticating in .NET 7 Blazor, that using CSS HTML or Razor pages, the full page reload. That is not what we did in that project. We actually implemented custom in the Blazor way. So we will try to migrate that as well in this .NET 8 structure. We are not going to use this authentication type like this here. Then interactive render mode, we are going to use server. So this is what is equivalent to Blazor server. Then interactivity location. So till .NET 7, we had global interactivity. So we'll select global. All right. And .NET 8 is here. So let's create it. And this is created. Cool. Now what we need to do, now if we see the basic structure in Blazing Blog, this .NET 7 project, we had program.cs. After that, the main entry point was in pages, we have underscore host.cs HTML, which was the main entry point. So this was the main entry point because this, if you see, we have HTML, head, body, all these things. Okay, and inside this, the main component was app, which is this app.razor. And this was the main entry point for Blazor application. Okay, underscore host.cs HTML, it was actually a ASP.NET Core entry point. From here, we told the system that app is the main component for Blazor. This app.razor, it was the main component. There we had this cascading authentication state, then we had this router, and all these stuff. After that, we had these pages. So blog detail page, index page, login page, about page. And then we had these protected pages, this manage blogs, manage categories, and save blog. These three pages, protected pages. All right. So in .NET 8, if you see, we have program.cs. Now in this program.cs, we have this map razor component, this app. And here we have this components folder. Inside this, we have this app. There is no underscore host.cs HTML. And this app.razor, if you see, this is the main HTML page. So HTML, head, body, we have everything. So for .NET 8 Blazor application, this app.razor is the main entry. So we could say this app.razor, it is a combination, it is actually equivalent of the underscore host.razor. Then we have a separate routes component, which is actually a routes page, this routes.razor, where our router is defined. Okay. And then we have this pages folder where we have our pages, and layout where we have our layout and all right. Cool. So this is the basic starting point. Now what we'll do, we will try to move stuff from .NET 7 application to .NET 8 Blazor application. Okay. So before that, we'll see we have data where we had our entities and our DB context. We had extension methods, we had database migrations, we had models, we had services, which was this business logic for our application. So all the C sharp related stuff, backend relatives, we can directly copy from the .NET 7 Blazor application to .NET 8. Okay. But before that, what we'll do, we'll go step by step. So initially, the first thing should be we are going to add whatever NuGet package are required in our application. In our .NET 7 application, we had Blazor.text editor, EF core. So these NuGet packages. What we are going to do, we are going to simply, we can copy these or we can check the latest version by simply copying this name, go to the .NET 8 version, right click, manage NuGet packages. Here we'll say browse this, try to find this Blazor text editor, and here we'll see what is the version for the, the .NET 8. Let's hide this solution explorer and then we'll see this is .NET standard version 2.0. That means we can use this 1.1. This same, I accept 1.0.8 now is 1.1. All right. After that, we have efcore.sql server and efcore.tools. Let's try both of these. First, SQL Server. We'll install it in .NET Core project. We need .NET 8 version, not .NET 9. So we'll check 8011. This is the latest for .NET 8. Let's install it. Apply. Accept. And we can copy the third one. You can install it as well. This side efcore.tools. Alternatively, what we can do, we can directly go to CS Pros and we can add this directly here. We'll just change the version number. 8011. This should be 8011 only. Same word. Save it. And now our NuGet packages are ready. Next thing we'll do, we'll start copying our data, extension, migration, model, services, these folders, all the C# backend related stuff. Services, models, migrations, extensions, data. Copy these, come in .NET 8 and just paste these. Okay. All right. And then this utilities.cs and global using these two files as well. Copy these, paste in .NET 8. Utilities and program, not program, global usings as well. Placing block.authentication, this is not here. In .NET 7, we see we have these two things as well. Authentication folder as well. We'll copy this and we'll add it to .NET 8. Authentication service and blog authentication. And we are good. Let's try to build this. We'll see if there are any issues, compile time bugs, we'll fix those. Wait for it to build. And build succeeded. There is no error. Great. All right. Now we'll see start setting up the things. First thing we'll check. This was the basic C# stuff. Moving from .NET 7 to .NET 8. Next thing we'll do, we'll go to program.cs and we'll try to set up the DI and the SQL server, DB context, all these things. Okay. So here we have these service registration. We have these authentication service, all these things, add scoped authentication of connection string, and then this DB context. So I'm going to copy all these service registrations and DB context registration. Okay. I'll go to .NET 8, program.cs. In here, I'm going to do this before builder.build, of course. I'm going to paste this. Now we are. Next thing is, it is going to access the connection string from this, our app settings. Let's copy this as well. From app setting, we have app setting.json in .NET 7 project and app setting.development. So in development.json, we have this connection string. So we are going to copy this. We'll come to .NET 8. And here, ts app setting.development.json, we are going to add this connection string. Save it, save everything. Now we should be. Let's quickly try to run this .NET 8 application. We'll see if we are able to get the data from the database. So for this, what we'll do quickly, we'll see in services, we have category service. In category service, we are having this get category JSON. Okay, so let's quickly try to access these categories directly on maybe index page. So here, if we go to components, pages, home.razor, this is just to test if things are working, if database connection and all these things are working. I'm going to inject category service. I'm going to add a code block here. I'm going to override on initialize async method. Here we'll say var categories equals gibberish categories equals await category service dot get category sync. Let's put a breakpoint. All right, let's try to run the .NET 8 version. Start it. We'll see if we are able to fetch these categories. Okay, okay, and categories count 9. So if you can see it, it is very small, but we can see 9 categories. That means the structure is working. All the C sharp stuff we moved, it is working. Database connectivity is there. We are able to fetch the data categories. That means we are moving in the right direction. Now we don't need this, so we'll simply remove this thing, save everything. Now we can actually close all tabs. Okay. Now we are good with C sharp stuff. Now we will move our Blazor pages, Razor pages basically. Okay. So for that, we'll start from the beginning, the way we build any application. So initially, the first thing is to define the layout. In .NET 7 application, we had underscore host.cshtml page in pages folder. Here we had this HTML. Here we were having bootstrap, and we were having the CSS site.css. Okay, let's copy this thing. Okay, go to the .NET 8 version. In .NET 8, we have in components app.razor. This is the main entry. So we have bootstrap.main.css. We have this app.css, which we don't need. And remove this. Okay, because we are going to use the css slash site.css. Or alternatively, what we can do, we can simply copy the styling from css site.css to app.css if we want to. Let's follow this, which we have in .7. CSS site.css, that means we need to move this file from .NET 7 to .NET 8. Let's do this. In CSS folder site.css. W root, we have JS folder as well. Let's copy both of these actually. CSS, JS, we are going to copy both of these from .NET 7 project to .NET 8. W root, paste it. CSS, JS. From CSS, we don't need bootstrap, we don't need open iconic. Because we are not going to use this, and bootstrap.css also because we are using bootstrap from the root in .NET 8. Alright, so site.css is fine, and we are not using app.css, we can remove this. Cool. After this, we check post.cs HTML. We have these two links. Okay, we are using Quill rich text editor in our Blazing blog application for that saving a blog. So we are simply going to copy these two things, app.razor, and add these here. Because these are CDN paths, no need to change anything in these. Then in here, we had the CSS, sorry, not CSS, JS. These are Quill.js. First one is Quill, and these are Blazor text editor. And then this is our custom common.js. Let's copy these things. Go to app.razor. At the very end, we can simply add these. Here, we just need to change the URL of this common.js. We don't need this tilt and slash because it was for CS page. In CS we should use tilt, but in this, we need to direct js slash common dot. Now, if we go to host.cshtml, do we have anything else? No, this is the same simple basic stuff which we have in app.routes, and we are good. We don't need to do anything else from host.c. Cool. Now, next thing is after host.cshtml in .NET 7, we had app.raise, which was actually router. So in .NET 8, for router, we have a dedicated file that is in components routes. What we are going to do, we are going to get routes from app.razor from .NET 7 application in .NET 8 routes. Going to paste it below this, then we'll compare these things. First thing, we need cascading component, cascading authentication state. So we need to add this using type of app is fine. Main layout layouts folder. So we are going to add this using as well. Now we see this is the default router assembly type of program.assembly, type of app.assembly. It does not matter. It should point to the same application. So we are okay with app also, and you can use program also if you. This is kind of just a marker for this assembly for this same project. All it is doing. We had cascading authentication state, then we had router found, then route view. But because we are using authentication and authorization in our application, so we are going to use authorized route. This stuff we copied from .NET 7 projects. This is from .NET 8, which is kind of similar but bare bone. So we are going to remove. Don't need. Okay, so we will remove this. And for these using statements, let's move these using statements to imports.razor. So imports.razor so that these can be used throughout the app. Save it. Okay. After this, we are going to work on this main layout. Okay. Now, if in .NET 7 we'll see we had a shared folder where we had our main layout and top nav. Okay. Let's copy the main layout. Let's go to the .NET 8. In this in components layout, we have this main. We'll keep this Blazor error UI here, but we'll remove else and we'll paste this new. But we copied from the .NET 7, right? Then for nav menu, we had this top nav bar. The name was top nav bar. So let's copy this top nav bar, come to the layout, paste it, and just remove nav menu. In .NET 8, we are not using this, which came with the project. We'll remove this. Now we have this top nav bar, which we are using. Cool. Now here we have this main layout.razor.css, scoped CSS, isolated CSS for this layout in .NET 8. Let's see if we had the same thing in .NET 7 version. Yes, we have some CSS styling. So we'll copy the CSS style from here and we'll go to .NET 8. We'll move everything. We'll just keep Blazor error UI, remove everything else, and we'll simply paste what we copied from .NET 7. Save it. Now our main layout is all cool. Now next thing is the home page. Let's go to .NET 7 version, pages, and index.razor. This was the home page. Okay. We are going to copy this entire thing, index.razor course code. We'll go to the .NET 8 version. Here We go to components. Here we have this pages folder. Inside this we have home.res. We are going to paste this. Now we should have everything. Category slug, this is the URL, post.any, and everything looks fine. It is just asking for this blog post list component and categories box component. These were shared components, custom reusable components in .NET 7 project. Let's go to the .NET 7 project. Here we had this shared a folder, not in shared, or this components folder. Here we had these shared components. Okay, let's do this in our .NET 8 version. You can create a new folder if you want to. Me, I am directly going to have the in components folder directly to have the same structure, but you are free to use move these to some other folder. .NET 8, I'm going to paste this admin categories box and this. Let's quickly see if there is any error in these. Blog post.list.razor, is there any error? Yes, there is. This utilities. Let's see what this is. We need to have this using. I am going to use this in underscore import.razor. All right. Is there any other error? No. Let's go to categories box and we are good. There is no error. Then we'll go to this admin. If categories form, is there any error? Then let's go to pages and see everything looks fine. Or maybe let's do this. Do not have this directly here. Let me create a new folder only. Here, I'll simply say in components, I'm going to create a shared folder and I'll move these components to this shared folder. Move and then these two things move to shared. Okay, and on home, we are using this, so we need to add the using statement. This we'll go to import.razor and we are going to add this using statement here so that we can use these reusable controls throughout our application. Now, if you go to home page, you can see everything looks fine. There's no error. Cool. So save it and let's see if we are able to build and run this .NET 8 project. So setting up the layout, the third party library, and then setting up the main index page. First, I'm going to rebuild this. And rebuild all succeeded. Now let's try to run. Because we are using the same database, we should see the same data. And we can. Great. UI is fine. We can see the home page. We can see the menu. We can see login button. We can see the design. This is the category box. This section here. This is latest post section. We have footer. Able to see. Cool. Now if I click on any of these, things are working. See, if I'm clicking on any of these, you can see the no blog post found for this one, this category. So this section, this is working. This is great. Put back to home. Now if I click on home page, it will say not found, which makes sense because we have not added this, right? Cool. So now we are good with setting up the home page. Now we'll set the detail page. Let's go to the Blazing blog detail page in .NET 7 application. Pages, blog detail. Copy blog details and about. Let's copy both of these pages. I'll copy these. I'll go to the .NET 8 components pages folder and I'm going to paste these blog details. Let's quickly see if we are good, if there is any error. So there is no error on detail page and there should not be any error. This about.ret, right? We'll simply change this .NET 7 to .NET 8. And good. Let's try it out. Running the application again. This time I'll try to open the detail page and about page. Home page, about page, back to home page, go to detail page, and boom. You can see the detail. Great. Looks like everything is fine. We are good with home and about page. That means the initial structure, the public pages. This is fine. Now let's see the login stuff. And before that, if you see, we had that. Let's click on login 404 because we have not copied over the login page to this. So in .NET 7, we had in pages login. We are going to copy this page. Come to the .NET 8 components pages, paste the login page, see slash login, and let's quickly see if everything is fine or do we need to change anything. Looks like we are good. There is no error. The login we had CSS. This is also fine. Run. So if you are here just to upgrade the stuff, then you can be we need to something else also for that authentication authorization. I now let's do this, and I don't remember what was username and password for this. Let's see what we have in maybe in log context when we are seeding the data. The name, password, I don't remember, but maybe it was one this 789. Incorrect password. I'm just adding it, and it allows me to log in. How so? Maybe am I not using the password? Let's see. Let's go to services. This login is sync, and we are not using password. Okay. At that time, I was maybe showed you best way. So password we are not using, so it's fine. But we are using the same mail, the login username. All right. So we are able to log in. Now we are logged in. We can see these additional menus: manage categories, manage blog, and we can see the name of the logged in user and blog out button. If you go to manage categories, you can see there is 404. That means we didn't move these pages. So let's quickly move these pages. In .NET 7, in pages folder, we had this admin folder. Copy this to .NET 8, components, pages, and I'm going to paste it. In admin, we had manage blogs. Let's see if there is any error. Yes, there are. Authorize attribute. Copy this using statement. Go to the underscore imports.razor and add it here. Manage blogs, fine. Manage categories, this is also fine. Save category form. Why this is not coming? Here admin, we need to add this using statement as well. The underscore import dot. Save it. Manage categories, and we are good. There is no error. Then save blog, and this is also fine. There is no error. Cool. Let's run it now. Now we should be able to see the manage blog and manage categories page, and we should be able to perform the CRUD operation. Manage categories. We can see the category list. Let's edit a category to this DB. Let's save it. JavaScript interop is working. Okay, we can see this. Cool. It. I'm going to create this new category. Save it. Category saved. And we can see this here. Great. Let's go to manage blog post. Here, try to edit something, and we can see this rich text editor here. Make it bold. Publish. Give it. Is not published. Home. We can see only two. If you go to JavaScript, cool. Looks like everything is working the way we expected it to work. And this time I ran the application again, and I can see this logged in information. For that, I think we were using cache and storage, or maybe no, cache and local storage. See here, we are storing the user's information in this secure format, protected local storage. From here only, we are able to get the. So the basic information, everything is fine. So looks like we are good. We have successfully migrated this application from .NET 7 to .NET 8 Blazor. Okay. Now you can stop here. This is fine. But in this application, we used custom authentication, right? But in .NET 8, the way we use authentication, the simplest and the easiest or direct way is to use cookies authentication. That is what we default use. Refresh it. So now it is, I guess we are good. No need to change anything. It is working because we use the we log out. Fine. Log in this. Cool. So looks like we are good. There's no need to do anything for the authentication or authorization part. The way I have implemented it, it was custom and it is still working in .NET 8. But if you want to know more about authentication authorization in .NET 8 Blazor, and it applies to .NET 9 as well, I already have couple of videos on my channel. I think I have a playlist for that. So Blazor custom auth, we have this playlist, and I have this playlist. Custom auth, sign in with Google, custom auth with Blazor, .NET 8 without ASP.NET Core identity, Blazor WebAssembly standalone application, and role-based authorizations. I have couple of videos. If you want to, I'll drop link of this playlist in description box as well, so that you can check these out to understand more about the authentication authorization in .NET 8 Blazor, and it applies to .NET 9 as well. Cool. So we are good with the .NET 8 upgrade. Now let's do .NET 9. Okay, I'm going to close all these tabs. Let me load this to server. All right. Now for .NET 9, we have two options. Either we can, if we want to in place upgrade it, we can change the .NET 8 in the CS Pros to .NET 9 and then change these versions. But what I'll do, I'll have both the versions, .NET 8 and .NET 9. So for this, what I am going to do, I am going to create a new project with .NET 9, but you can upgrade in place as well. Let's see. I'm going to create a new project, Blazor Web App, of course. Copy this name, and here I'll say .NET 9. Next, this time I will select .NET 9. Authentication type none. Interactive render mode server, yes. Interactivity location global, because we are using the creating the Blazor server application, which was globally interactive. Cool. So in this, if we see what has changed, if we go to program.cs, here nothing has changed. Just this map static assets, use static assets, these are same. There is no change because we are not using these explicitly in application. We don't need to change. Then in components, app.razor, this was the main entry point. If we see, here we have this import map. And we have a different way of adding these styles using this assets prop. So this is a new change to optimize the static asset delivery in .NET 9. So we are going to use this version for this. We are going to change here only in app.razor. After that, we see in routes to change imports the same. Go to layout in main layout to change nav menu, no change. All right, let's do from .NET 8 to .NET 9. Now we are going to move stuff. First thing, the same way we have done for .NET 8, we are going to upgrade or having these versions here. First thing is this initial text editor, Blazor text editor. This is the latest version, and this is for .NET Standard 2.0, targeted to .NET Standard 2.0. So it will be available for all the .NET versions, and this is the latest one. We can go to .NET 9 directly, and we can simply have one item group here, and simply, and you can alternatively you can right click on this and simply add this as a NuGet. Then EF Core, let's see what is the latest version for .NET 9. So in .NET 9 project, we'll go to manage NuGet packages, browse, add this. We'll see this 900. This is the latest version targeted to .NET 9. This is for .NET 8 also. Okay, let's install it. Apply, accept, and install now. Now we see if you go to here, we are okay 900. Let's go to .NET 8. Let's copy the EF Core tools package reference. Go to .NET 9, and we can directly paste it here and just change the version to 900. Now we are good. Our NuGet packages are ready. Now let's go back to .NET 8 version. Here we will move the stuff utilities.cs, global usings, service, model, migration, extension, data, authenticate. All these files and folders. Copy and go to the .NET 9 and just paste. After that, we'll go to program.cs. We are going to copy this DB context and service registrations. Go to .NET 9, program.cs before builder.build. Okay. Then we don't have anything in the HTTP pipeline configuration section, so we don't need to do anything 9 here. After that, we'll see go to components and app.razor. Here we had couple of things which we need. First thing, let's have these will, or maybe before that we need to have this site.css, right? Copy the site.css, go to the .NET 9 version, components, app.razor, and site.css. We are going to copy it, but we are not going to have it directly like this. We will follow this convention because we are using import map and map static assets. So it is going to generate a random a URL with hash using this map static assets. It will not be this direct URL. The URL will be different for these files, which I'll show you when I'll run this application. Let's follow this approach. We can have this, cut this, have this underscore assets. Then in this array, you can have this site.css. Then we can remove this app.css because we are not using. Okay. After this, in .NET 8 version, we had these quill CSS. These are CDN paths. We'll directly use these. You need to use these assets for this because they are directly going to serve from the party CDN. Then bottom section, we have these scripts. Come here, we'll do this, save everything. Now I guess we should be good. After this, we there is no change in other parts of the application. That means layout, pages, shared, imports, and routes. We can have all these files, copy these, come to this .NET 9 world, and we can directly paste in components. Paste will ask for replacing the items. I'll say yes, I want to replace all these, copied everything. Now let's try to rebuild this .NET 9 world. And we have these errors from imports.razor. These are targeting to .NET 8, but we have .NET 9. So let's change this to .NET 9 because project name is different. Place all these and let's try to rebuild it again. Now let's see. It should build. Yeah, it got built successfully. Then we just have one thing remaining, which is this connection string. So let me copy this connection string from .NET 8 version to .NET 9 app setting development JSON. Save it. Let's select the .NET 9 and let's start this. Run this application, the .NET 9 version. Let's see. And we can see something. It is not able to get the tiling, the bootstrap, but we see something. Let's check. We'll see there is some error. 404 for site.css, common.js, site.css. And this is because we didn't move the CSS and JS from .NET 8 triple W root folder to .NET 9. We are going to copy the CSS and JS. Copy this, go to .NET 9 in W root, and we are going to paste these CSS and JS. Start it again, and we can see the same Y structure. Cool. Let's try to move around. Categories. We have home page. We have about page. Go back to home page. We can see the footer. Go to the detail page. We can see the detail page. Let's try to log in. Validation is working. Log in. We are able to log in. We can see these. Manage categories is fine. Manage blog post. Let's publish it. We can see this rich text editor. We will publish it. Save it. See this in JavaScript category. Go to home. JavaScript category. We can see this. Manage blog post. Manage categories. Let's try to add a new category. Button 9. Category saved successfully. That means JS interop is also working. Okay, we can see this. Everything looks fine. Everything is working. Refresh it and then we have a problem. We'll work on this .NET 9, but .NET 8 it was fine. We'll see. So just run this one more time. I think we'll say inspect bottom of this page, network, all, and let me refresh. Here, if you go to CSS, we have site.css, but we are not using it, I guess. Or are we? One icon. We are not using this. We need to remove this site.css. Then, if you see bootstrap.min.css, here it says the URL is bootstrap this bootstrap.min dot then this code 46EIN0SSX1KCSS. But we have not added this. This is what map static asset and that import map does. Fields no, these are the component style scope styles. One iconic site.cs. Why this is not our site.cs, or is it ours? The default one. We'll clean this up. Then if you go to JS, we can see the common dot. Okay, let's check this app.net 9. We have this CSS slash site dot, but it is working. CSS site dot. We added this, but we are not using this, so we can remove this icons. Like we are good. So for the basic upgrade, we are good. It is working. Every functionality, each and everything is working fine. So we are good with the upgrade part. Now you can close this video and you can do your stuff. But there is one more piece which I will work on if for the people who are interested. If I refresh this, so this time it is working. I thought maybe we need to work on what's that? The authentication part. But it looks nice. Maybe there was something. So you guys can try. If that error still comes, I will also try a couple of times. If that error comes, I can maybe create a follow-up video, or maybe you guys can try if you are facing that authentication error. If that error is there, maybe you can drop a comment, and maybe I can see, and maybe you can add reproduce steps to reproduce that. Then maybe I'll be able to reproduce it on my machine, and then I can create a follow-up video for this. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful for you to upgrade .NET Server Blazor server application from .NET 7 or 6 or 5. It is going to apply for all to .NET 8 and .NET 9. Okay, please like this video, share this video, subscribe my channel. I'll be back soon with some other cool video. Till then, bye bye.